back and go, should have done this, should have done that. They can't. So we might get a shot at them again next week.
Bishop to Rook 9. Red Mountain win it.
You're watching the Lion Pride Pregame, brought to you by RMTV, bringing you the latest headlines and action in 6A football.
Red Mountain on a bit of a roll. They are 4-0 on the season. Hi, my name is Nate Smith. With me today is a very special guest. He is the head honcho of Red Mountain. He bleeds and breathes and eats Red Mountain football. His name, Kyle Enders. Coach Enders?
Watch the arm.
Oh, of course. My fault. Your program is doing outstanding this week, and you have another tough opponent against the Williamsfield Blackhawks. So what are we expecting to see this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a region opponent. We know each other very well. Coach Campbell, great coach, got state championships. They're a well-coached team. They're a tough physical team like a lot of the other teams in our region. It's going to be a good football game.
Awesome. What are you looking to improve on off of last year?
The last year I thought, we came in with a good game plan on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure we punted, and I think we were up 41 to maybe 14 before we kind of called off the dogs. If we could do another game like that, I'd like to. I don't know if there's much of improvement there, but if we can simulate something like that, that'd be great for us.
Coach Enders, you grew up sort of around the time that Red Mountain won the 6A state championship. What was that atmosphere like in playing for Jim Jones?
Yeah, so I wasn't part of those teams. I was a little bit younger, but I was around here. It's exactly what I'm trying to simulate here. You got that small town feel, everybody. I wasn't on campus, so I can't kind of tell you how it was on campus, but from an outside perspective and being in the community, you would eat, breathe, and sleep Red Mountain football. You wanted to be here Friday nights, and that's what I'm trying to simulate with our boys now. I like to create that culture of like we're a family. There's a reason we eat a lot together. We do a lot of things outside of football together as a team. It's exactly what I would, picture and what I'd want my kids to go through if they were playing high school football. Again, I think we're on our way of doing to that, and trying to get over the hump, win a state championship.
That's great. Now let's recap last week's game against the Downey Vikings. Great game between these two teams. The problem was only one team was going to have to lose, and that team was not going to be Red Mountain. Jackson Bogle with the first TD of the game. Downey, however, answers right back. Bodie Wagner a rushing touchdown from the direct snap. Downey once again answers right back. Right before halftime, Bodie Wagner with another receiving touchdown on the year. The chemistry between Simon Lopez and Bodie Wagner stays strong. Andrew Schmier gets his name on the stat sheet. A 45-yard touchdown for him. Once again, Downey struck back. Cut the lead down to 2. It wasn't until the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter where cornerback Tyreek Cornett timed the screen perfectly, getting his third house call and pick six pie of the season. Red Mountain drops Downey 35-32. Coach Enders, what were some of your takeaways from this game?
What I took away, and it was something we had question marks going into, can we put together a full game? We had a running clock on our first 3 opponents by halftime, so most of our halftime speeches were, hey, coaches, get everybody in. We've never really dealt with adversity. We hadn't punted the whole year, so we knew, that this game could be different, and the fact that we overcame so much adversity, I'm super proud of the kids. We made plays when we needed to. We had 3 touchdowns called back. Those are not just drive killers, but those are momentum killers, and people can start pointing fingers, and we really didn't do that. We kind of regrouped, and we had short memory like we talked about, and it showed that the team is really resilient. I'm proud of that. I was proud that we could show up in the fourth quarter, and that's when we made some of our biggest plays to kind of put them away.
Now, I want to talk about the penalties in that game, more specifically the unsportsmanlike conducts where the opponent really got under their skin. What'd you tell the guys in the huddle towards the middle of the game?
Yeah, one of the things was I was like, let's not play their game. They came over here yapping from the very beginning, and it was like, guys, that's not what we do. You play that kind of ball, and you're going to keep a team like that around like we did. It's not what we're about. It's not what we're built on. And then you just got to adjust to how refs are calling games. They're calling things that, maybe don't even impact the play, or maybe the week before they would never call, or the 3 crews before wouldn't have called. But we have to make the adjustments as a coaches and players that, hey, they're being really strict on certain things. And it took a while for our kids, and I was still disappointed. Even in the end, we started getting personal fouls, and we had the pick sixes, and we bought into them. We hopefully that doesn't happen again, because that could cost you football games.
Oh, 100%.
we took care of it in practice this week, hopefully. And that's the last of those type of personal fouls.
Well, I don't know what taking care of it in practice means, but just speaking from experience, that's not a good thing. On to your pick'ems. First one is the Corona del Sol Aztecs versus the Saguaro Sabercats. Both teams winless on the season. Saguaro coming off of a 37-14 loss, and Corona's looking to bounce back after a 49-6 loss against open caliber team Chandler. Interesting matchup here. Saguaro significantly worse than last year. Corona del Sol, they're in the middle of the pack, I feel like. So I've been really not hard on Saguaro, but I haven't really been interested in Saguaro. But I think this will turn over a new leaf and maybe build some momentum for them. I have Saguaro by 3.
I got Sagu by 6. Kind of to recap on you, I think they have a really young team. They lost a lot of players. They have a lot of, I think, freshmen and sophomores playing. They've had a gauntlet of a schedule. I think this is going to be like, wow, it's like when you go against some of those top-tier opponents like they've had. Maybe going against a Corona, these kids will get some confidence and start making plays. And I think some of those young players, it's week 5, so they'll be ready to roll.
Now the next one, ALA Queen Creek and Pinnacle Pioneers. This is the first time Pinnacle has been introduced in the pick'em scene. Pinnacle, they went a long way in the playoffs last year. They lost in the quarterfinals to you-know-who. ALA Queen Creek, they're a strong up-and-coming team. Bo Sparks, the wide receiver, is a stud. I haven't seen a lot from ALA Queen Creek, Pinnacle. I think ALA Queen Creek gets them by 13.
I mean, I got to go with the best region in the state. That's our region. I got to go ALA. I don't know how much by. I think they are more physical. I think they're a tougher team. I don't know. Again, Pinnacle, I don't know a whole lot about, but when you give up 50-something to Horizon, I know Horizon's a good football team. I got to say ALA by at least 2 scores.
Now, this next one, very interesting matchup. The Notre Dame Prep Saints versus the Brophy Prep Broncos. Brophy, Devin Fitzgerald and Case and Bastian Vandenbosch, as well as Dalen Sharper, all of which they play a key role on that Brophy team. Notre Dame, well, they have Cooper Perry, I'll say that. Great wide receiver. However, they're playing Brophy, a good 5A team versus a good 6A team. The 6A team is going to come out on top. I'm going to say Brophy by 7.
I got to go with Brophy, too. I got to go with the 6A opponent. I think they're just loaded top to bottom. I think Notre Dame Prep will play them tough for 3 quarters, but Brophy's been battle-tested. Yeah, I say 2 touchdowns. Brophy with the win.
The barn burner of tonight, the Chandler Wolves versus the Highland Hawks. 2 teams who I think we're probably going to see play each other in the open. Highland, they beat Centennial. Centennial, really strong team who is yet to win a game. They beat Campo Verde by a lot, but however, Campo Verde is a 5A team. You kind of have to expect that. Chandler, they played Westwood, Cesar Chavez, Corona del Sol. Not really a tough matchup there by any means. I think Chandler, they're really good, but I don't think they're beating Highland. I got Highland by 7 in a close affair.
This one's a tough one for me. It's like, do I go with my heart, my head? I have major respect for both those programs and coaching staffs, 2 of the best coach programs around. Like I said before, in my eyes, the best conference in the state of Arizona. I got to go with our region, and I got to go with Highland. I'll say Highland by 1.
By 1.
I think they split last year. Highland got them in the open playoffs. Chandler got them in the regular season. I'm just wishful thinking. I'm hoping us and Highland are undefeated into our battle next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn ready for that one. All right, now let's get on to the rankings. I don't even think he looks at the rankings.
Depends on where we're looking. Sports Illustrated started ranking high school football.
Really?
And they try to do an algorithm. They did a formula that they try to use in college football, the same formula. Guess what they have us ranked in the state?
Hold on.
Based on this algorithm that they're using.
I'm going to say it's got to be something outrageous, like 20th.
3.
3?
They have Liberty at 14. Based on their algorithm. They got us ranked 3. Yeah, I know. But again, who knows what rankings I'm looking at. I think in Max Preps we're maybe 8, which that's the one they're going to end up going off of. So.
And just like that, he's reading the script again. All right, top 5 remain unchanged. Liberty, Basha, Highland, Brophy, and ALA Queen Creek. Really no surprises there. Saguaro has officially dropped out of the top 25. Centennial, they descend further and further down the ladder. They drop to number 17. Hamilton stays undefeated. However, they drop 6 spots over their win against Desert Vista, leaving them at 12. Chandler drops 3 spots. They're at number 10. And finally, Red Mountain goes up 5. They're at number 8. Do you see any surprises here, Coach N?
I mean, not really. It's so early still. They take in consideration a lot of strength of schedule. So some of these teams, they're getting a running clock and winning. Like you said, Chandler dropped, Hamilton dropped. I mean, they're winning big games. It's just their opponents, it's almost hurting them winning those games right now because of the strength of schedule. They'll get into region play and all this stuff will balance out. I think it's pretty, I mean, again, the rankings to us they mean very little right now.
It's all about how hard you play the opponent. Now, on to tonight's game. An even 500 against the Williamsfield Blackhawks.
Regardless of who the running back is, I mean, rotating in there, and that's where we have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Shout out to the O-line and D-line. The big boys are deserving their flowers. I'm Nate Smith. This is head honcho Kyle Enders, and we'll see you next time on the Lion Pride pregame show.
The stakes have been raised as region play begins tonight in the state of Arizona, and the 6A East Valley is where our matchup resides tonight between the Red Mountain Mountain Lions and Williamsfield Blackhawks. We take you right in off kickoff. Things got going a little bit early with our officials, sped things up through the pregame proceedings. So thanks for hanging with us, everyone. Alongside Nate Smith, I'm Zach Warhack. Nate, big game here tonight. Like I mentioned, region play in the 6A East Valley. Williamsfield ranked number 14 in the state of Arizona. Red Mountain ranked number 8, coming off that huge win against Downey.
Yeah, this is where the good teams start to form, and if you want to make the postseason, especially this early in the season, you want to get those region play victories against teams like Williamsfield, who kept it close against Brophy in the first week, and Highland, who's just been on a tear this year.
The big story of tonight, as you see on the first play here from Williamsfield as they get things going, Barjona, the one rolling out at quarterback, Cody Guy, sustained a foot injury last week, the starter for Williamsfield, the senior quarterback. So they are without him tonight. On top of things for the offense, leading rusher and number 9 in 6A, Corshawn Hill, listed with an injury as well, which will keep him out of the game. So Q Skillings will be in at running back for Williamsfield along with Dominic Barjona, and injuries plaguing everyone throughout the state of Arizona early on.
Yeah, these teams are very, I don't want to say limped up, but battle-tested with some of these good opponents. It's going to be an interesting matchup from these two teams here tonight.
Williamsfield come out passing on 1st and 10. They have Skillings in the backfield now as Barjona goes under center. Barjona keeps, rolls out, and just ends up throwing it away into his own sideline. Good coverage by Isaac Haney. That time around, Trey Smith, the intended target, the sophomore receiver. So 3rd down and 10 upcoming. And a little bit of that defensive front change for Red Mountain that we've seen time and time again. You get the big body of Weston Hancock checking in there, as well as Yosanis on the left side.
Keep an eye on number 25, Zach Whitney, a bit of an undersized guy, but it's not about the size and the dog in the fight, it's about the size and the fight of the dog.
Another player getting a lot of time as the season proceeds here for Red Mountain. Brock Miller on the right side of the line right now, banged up, getting the shoulder tape, but he's giving it a go tonight. Barjona surveys the field, steps up in the pocket. Cole Edmonds creates pressure, and this one picked off. Isaac Haney with the interception on the first drive of the game for Red Mountain, and what a start for region play for these Mountain Lions.
Could not have started the drive any better. I mean, you force a turnover on your first defensive drive, and you set up Simon Lopez with virtually no field in front of him. This Mountain Lion offense is dangerous when it comes to those.
They certainly are, Nate. And with that Isaac Haney interception, him and his brother Logan have combined for 4 on the season. And this was just kind of a scramble from Barjona trying to force something downfield and read well by that Red Mountain defense. They take over in plus territory at the 32 with 11:23 left in the first, as Lopez has Kai Jackson behind him at back. He gives to Jackson, a surge up the middle and a big pickup on first down. Looks like forward progress near the 25. They spot him at the 26. And a gain of 6 on first down for Kai Jackson. As we talk about these injured teams, Jackson Bogle in a walking boot during pregame for Red Mountain, so Jackson gets the call at running back.
Yeah, and then you have Vinny Coffey also out with an ankle injury.
Lopez checks down to his tight end Schmier as he gets a block from King Robinson. Tackle made by Adrian Darlene. One of the top tacklers in the state of Arizona, 31 on the season, coming off a 108 tackle season just a year ago.
Let me tell you, that guy from Williamsfield is a stud. Darlene, sort of like the leader, the head and the alpha of this Williamsfield defense.
Schmier had enough to pick up the first down for Red Mountain as they're inside the 20, and it's their first trip to the red zone tonight. They've been nearly perfect here on the season.
So keep an eye out on King Robinson. He is the farthest guy away from the trip.
Lopez gives to Jackson, who has a burst of speed and gets down to the 11. And when I spoke with Kyle Enders and offensive coordinator Brian McDaniel prior to the game, they said it was going to be a battle of the trenches. Right now, Red Mountain winning that battle up front.
Yeah, Enders in the pregame, he said the game's won on the trenches. I mean, the offensive line seems to be doing a great job at pushing the pile. Defensive line should follow suit.
Lopez keeps it this time and passes out to Schmier. Schmier into the flat and into the end zone. Touchdown, Andrew Schmier, number 5 on the season.
Just a great play overall. It's a Y arrow concept. Lopez just puts it into the check down, and without Bodie Wagner's pick play on the linebacker right there, Schmier would not have gotten that touchdown. Great block by Bodie, good read by Simon, and a picture perfect 3 minutes for Red Mountain.
Red Mountain have been great at getting out to a hot start on the season. They continue to do so. The defense puts them in plus territory and they capitalize. It's a 9-yard receiving touchdown for Andrew Schmier with 9:47 left in the first, and we'll step away on RMTV. Andrew Schmier has been such an integral part of this Red Mountain offense, and it's something you don't see a lot throughout high school football, Nate. The tight end getting involved, 5 touchdowns on the season now for Schmier, and he also has the homecoming king to tally onto that. Things open up on that play from him, and it's from a wide receiver who does it all on the season, but this time getting dirty in the blocking game.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, as a receiver, you're expected to block and catch the rock. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Bodie Wagner setting things up with the block for Schmier to get into the end zone. Kickoff goes out of bounds for Red Mountain, so that'll give a little bit better field position to Williamsfield to begin this drive. They stalled out with the interception that resulted in the touchdown for Red Mountain the first time around, and we'll see what head coach Steve Campbell and company can get going. And it looks like Williamsfield actually decline it. Well, they enforce it on the kickoff. So it backs things up for Red Mountain, and they have them re-kick. An interesting look there on the re-kick rather than just getting the ball at advanced position.
Yeah, I don't understand the move, but I mean, if they're looking for a return out of it, then don't mind if we do, I guess.
Gallegos steps into this one, puts a chip shot out, and it finds ground in the 20 and then scooped up. A return has been had, and this was the idea for Braden Kisner as he gets out towards the 40-yard line. And a lot better look for this Williamsfield offense, and we'll see what they can get going in the running game. Q Skillings has been efficient on the year, the junior running back, 21 carries, 170 yards, and 5 TDs. But it's really been a backfield by committee for Williamsfield, and a big loss not having Portion Hill for this game.
Yeah, the big guys up front need to kind of sort of adapt to it. It's a different guy running back. Kind of have to adapt to his play style. But the goal for Williamsfield up front remains the same: dominate the line of scrimmage.
If they can get things bounced to the outside, the left tackle for Williamsfield is Colin Campbell. That's the son of head coach Steve Campbell. Pretty neat story. Got offered by NAU and committed this past week. So football stays in the family of the Campbells. A handoff here as Skillings spins out of a tackle in the backfield and then swallowed up by a plethora of Red Mountain defenders. Cole Edmonds, Anthony Gamba, both torn out of the pile.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. The defensive line for Red Mountain powering their way through the Williamsfield defenders. Or offensive line, excuse me.
Both Zach Whitney as well as Brandon Saddleoff getting involved on that initial push for Red Mountain. Skillings able to pick up one despite the pressure, and with 9 minutes left in the first, it's a 2nd and 9 from their own 41. Arjona steps back, throws to the outside sticks, and he finds Kisner for the reception. So 3rd and short upcoming, and a big spot for Williamsfield, and an opportunity to convert and have some signs of life.
3rd and manageable. I'm looking for Q Skillings to get a sort of outside sweep play. You remember Dylan Lee from last year, the commit from Iowa State. They were very successful on the outside sweep plays with him. Let's see if they do the same thing with Q Skillings here.
2 in the backfield. Barjona gives it to Skillings right on cue, sweeps to the outside, but not enough for the first down. As Red Mountain big in pursuit, Jacob Redwing gets there out of the secondary. So the special teams units come out for each side as we take a look at the replay. Skillings had the edge for a second, and then Rock Miller with that bump shoulder makes the impact on the outside.
I think that bum shoulder's feeling a little more bummed, don't you think?
Probably a little better now after feeling some of that contact, making an impact play for his team. Tyreek Cornett, the speedster for Red Mountain, sets up at their 10 to receive the punt. He'll get it off the foot of Logan Lutt. High snap here, and it goes past Lutt, and it's a jailbreak. Lutt steps away. Wow! What a play from Lutt just to be able to get that off. It'll be great field position for Red Mountain. A flag on the play on the far sideline, and we'll see what the resulting call is.
Yeah, that takes a lot of confidence from the punter. I mean, you have like 4 to 5 guys running after you. He makes the first man miss and just punts it right away.
Mason McClellan had the high snap that time around. And like you said, just really impressive for Lutt to even be able to get that off, because if he didn't and got brought down, then he would have been setting up Red Mountain in their own territory once again for 2 straight drives.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great heads-up play. I mean, the coaches don't technically teach you that. There's great self-correction. As for the long snapper, just get it a little low.
Red Mountain gathering back towards their sideline as we await the teams to come back out from the penalty flag. And the chains move, and it'll be the offense of Red Mountain to take the field. When you take a deeper look into this Red Mountain team, they've put 184 points up on the season. And their defense, well, they've answered the call as well, but when they get these big leads, they haven't had to do too much. It's led to a 4-0 season so far for Red Mountain, and it's a good place to be rolling as you're heading into region play.
Yeah, absolutely. With these sort of blowout games, you kind of have to let off the gas pedal a little bit. Kind of call off the dogs, as Coach Enders said.
Lopez fakes the give, faces pressure, and just throws it at the feet of Bodie Wagner. He had Joshua Chappelle in hot pursuit. And Chappelle dangerous when he gets to the backfield, 2.5 sacks on the season. That time he'll be credited with the hurry of Simon Lopez.
Just a good play by Chappelle. He just maintains, he contains. He knows how dangerous Simon Lopez is outside of the pocket.
Lopez has been great with his decision-making throughout the season, whether under pressure, just throwing the ball away. He's been on top of his game. Bodie Wagner motions to the far side of the field as Lopez waits the snap. Pressure again from Chappelle. Lopez looks for a deep shot, then has to tuck it and run. Simon Lopez into the secondary, makes a cutback and switches field. Simon Lopez with a burst of speed out of bounds at the 15 and turning nothing into something. What a run by Simon Lopez.
Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Mike Vick. You're looking for Wyndham on that post route. Kind of saw the safety lurking in the background. He just takes off running.
A pickup of 25 for Lopez on the run, and a timeout taken on the field. We'll stay here and keep it with you on the broadcast. I know we were a little bit quick getting out of things for the open here, so we get to take a look and kind of dissect these two teams. I know you went over it well in the pregame, Nate, with Coach Enders, but just an interesting start to the season for Williams Field. They held tough against Brophy, lost to them 35-28, and then they've rattled off 3 straight since then.
Yeah, and if you ask me, I think Williamsville should have beaten Brophy, but that's my personal opinion. If they beat Brophy, you're looking at easily a 4-0 battle right now. I mean, it's region play. This game right here is important for both teams. Red Mountain especially, they're getting into this battle, kind of battle tested. You got Highland next week on a Thursday night, and after that it's a fall break for the boys. I mean, these next few weeks are going to be dogfights. I mean, full head of steam from here on out.
It was 2 big road wins for Williams Field. They had a combined score of 65-9 in those wins over Mountain Ridge and Desert Ridge. We resume play out of the timeout, and it's the Wildcat look where Bodie Wagner scored a rushing touchdown last week against Downey. Fakes the reverse to Lopez, and he scurries across to the 12. So a little bit of a different look that time out of the Wildcat as Josiah Ares-Mendez makes the stop on Wagner.
Well, you have Lopez lined up as a receiver. There's got to be a play in the playbook somewhere where Bodie throws it to Simon Lopez.
It's going to get broken out. Probably a late stage in the season is when they're going to go to it, I guess.
100%.
Something you kind of keep in the back pocket. You know, you show your cards right now, but you don't always place the bet. Lopez gives to Jackson this time. He gets across the 10. And it's go zone for Red Mountain here. They can still pick up a first down if they reach the 5. So 3rd and short upcoming. And the Williams Field front 7 battling against the run game of Red Mountain. Wagner into the backfield. Schmier takes the left side of the line. Lopez with the give to Jackson, who has enough for the first down. And the chains will go down, and Red Mountain will set up and have probably 4 shots to get in the end zone.
I'll give them 2.
5:50 left in the first. Red Mountain already leads 7-0. Their second possession of the game, an opportunity to extend that lead to 14. Lopez looks back to the sideline with 12 left on the play clock and goes under center.
You have Wagner soloed up.
Lopez keeps it on the ground with Jackson, and he's brought down at the 1. Adrian Darlene, one of those players in on the stop for Williamsfield. Red Mountain look to go quick and set things back up at the line of scrimmage immediately. Lopez takes it, movement early, and I think this one's coming back 5 yards. I think before the snap was taken, Lopez had a little twitch there to get an early go at the sneak.
He just wants to get in, man. I don't blame him.
See here on the replay, well, it's a close call. It looks like everything almost worked in unison.
It could be one of the tackles may have just pushed just a slight bit.
They call it against Williamsfield, so it just inches closer. Half the distance to the goal doesn't get you much if you're Red Mountain. But Jamison Wade checks in on the offensive side. We've seen him used time and time again in this jumbo package.
Had a touchdown on homecoming week against Desert Ridge. Just went right over the top. Yep.
Lopez goes to him again, and Wade stuffed up at the goal line. The far official says he has it. And Jamison Wade, a hard-fought battle in the air, but his second rushing touchdown of the season.
Yep, just like the Desert Ridge game, over the top. He gets stuffed a little bit. Went airborne, suffered some turbulence along the way, but he still came down with the touchdown.
The landing gears fully function for Jamison Wade as he picks up the touchdown with 4:43 left in the first. And Red Mountain continue to dominate in this young season. 14-0 lead over Williamsfield to open region play, and we'll step away on RMTV. Red Mountain get the start they're looking for Kyle Enders and company as they lead 14-0 with 4:43 remaining in the first quarter in this opening night of region play. Special teams have been good for Williamsfield to begin as Kersner with another return, and he loses the football right on cue. Oh, no. Isaac Haney with the forced fumble, and we'll wait for the officials to dig at the bottom of the pile, but Red Mountain with the special teams coming up huge. All signs point to their ball, and everything going right for one team and complete disaster for Williamsfield.
Well, the game, people tend to forget that special teams is a very, very important part of winning the football game. It's sort of like those hidden yards. I mean, the first you have the punt that goes 10 yards, and then you get the critical error of fumbling on the kick return.
Special teams, special players, special plays. Isaac Haney comes up with the forced fumble, and it sets up Red Mountain in the red zone to begin their third drive of the game. Lopez out of the gun, flanked by Kai Jackson, drops back to pass this time around, and Lopez takes off with a run for the second time of the night as he scurries away for a big pickup, and that's something Lopez has been great on, just protecting his body this season, not taking any big hits.
Yeah, his awareness is incredible. I mean, he can see when a receiver is covered. I mean, from the booth, it looks like they're wide open, but when you actually get to see it in the vision of the quarterback, you realize, oh, maybe they're not that open.
2nd down and 2 for Red Mountain. We've seen Simon Lopez make those tight window throws, but the rushing attack has been huge tonight. Kai Jackson with a burst of speed, brought down inside the 5. as Kai Jackson filling in well for the injured Jackson Bogle tonight. Brian McDaniel and this team continue to go up-tempo when they get into scoring territory. Lopez gives to Jackson. Jackson powers his way into the end zone. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for Red Mountain.
A perfect 3 for 3. That's exactly what you want from your offense. In talking to Brian McDaniel, the offensive coordinator, he said not to hurt ourselves, control the line of game. Yosenis just put a guy on his behind. No negative plays as well. They're not taking a single negative play or penalty tonight.
3 of the first 4 games of the season, Red Mountain have got the running clock going by getting up by a lead of 40. And we're on track for that tonight as they lead 21-0 with 4:04 left in the first. All levels of the game, right? You talk about it, offense, defense, special teams, everyone making an impact tonight.
I gotta say though, there's 3 quarters left of football.
It's never over, and especially against a team that's well coached like this Williamsfield Blackhawks squad. Steve Campbell has been here since the Williamsfield school opened here, 16 seasons, holds a record of 150-38, also has 2 state championships to go along with it.
Exactly, so do not count him out.
Just under 8 minutes gone in this first quarter as Gallegos boots this one deep. Kersner will have another go at it. Fumbled the last time he took a return. This time they fake the pitch and Kersner switches fields. Had a path to the outside, but then he stopped right around the 16-yard line. Justin Collier with the tackle. Another one of those good special teams players who makes impact.
It's a good job by Collier. He's playing contain on kickoff. He is the furthest guy outside. Nobody gets past you. You're the outside guy. Kisner kind of just slips up there, but Collier just does a good job at stopping him.
You could see Williamsfield trying to open things up and get some good starting field position as they had that concept in the back of the return game where he could have pitched it or fake it. So we'll see if they go to the pitch later on in the game.
Yeah, to me, those kickoff return plays a little ticky-tacky. But whatever you got to do to win the game.
Barjona incomplete on first down. He had a little bit of a struggle with the read between him and Skillings, able to hang on to it. And the first 2 drives for Williamsfield resulted in the interception and then a punt where it went over Lutt's head, and then following that, the kick return fumble. So Williamsfield just trying to have any positive plays to hang their hat on at this stage of the game. Second and 10 from their own 17 this time around. Ares Mendez motions out to the bottom of the screen. He's soloed up with Tyreek Cornett, and as the play clock goes down to 0, timeout taken by Steve Campbell, and we'll step away with 3:47 left in the first on RMTV. Red Mountain out to a 21-0 lead in the first game of region play against Williamsfield. And a big portion of that lead is credited to Isaac Haney. An interception and a forced fumble on a kickoff return tonight. Isaac Haney playing huge.
I got to say, he's the early MVP runner right now.
I think maybe he was inspired when his brother Logan laid him out last week in the secondary trying to make a play on Damani Porras.
That's got to be an awkward conversation at the family dinner table, man.
2nd down and 10. It's a handoff this time to Skillings, and he gets blown up right on cue by Logan Haney. Those two brothers have made such an impact on defense for Red Mountain in the early part of this season.
Just a great play. Just getting up, playing contained by the defensive back. Textbook.
Weston Hancock checks in on the right side of the line for Red Mountain. He's paired with Yosemite at nose tackle, and Jamison Wade up there showing pressure as well. Barjona gets it out quick, finds Skillings out of the backfield, and Skillings working after the catch. And he'll be close to the line to gain, but just short. So we'll see what Steve Campbell wants to do in his own territory.
See, that's a great concept by Williamsfield, getting Q Skillings on the screen. I think they're going to look for more of that. Cornett got his ankles broken on that one.
It was a good move by Skillings out of the backfield. You got to give him credit. I think those high percentage throws are something that are nice to get your sophomore quarterback into with Dominic Barjona. Build a little bit of confidence, and then you can let him open up.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a momentum builder, those short check downs. Get him comfortable, and soon enough we'll be seeing him throw deep balls.
This time a better snap, and Lutt with a good punt. Cornett fields it around the 40. Puts a little shimmy shake on, and now he's going the wrong direction. Cornett unable to make anything happen on the return as Blake Strauss ultimately makes the tackle.
A good block by Isaac Haney. Just cleans him.
That's a tough place to play, right? Having a gunner go full speed down the field, and you got to keep up with them and be able to stay in front to not get flagged.
Yeah, he kind of just strafed toward the gunner.
Fourth drive of the game now for Red Mountain. They've been perfect up to this point. Talon Lamb in a backfield now. He replaces Kai Jackson. Wyndham in motion. They fake the give to him, and Lopez takes off, brought down at the 44, but a flag flies in the backfield. One goes against Red Mountain, so that'll put them deeper in their own territory as they get close to the worst field position that they've faced tonight up to this point.
We can shift. You got a quads look. Got a quads look to the near side.
That's a formation that's got to be perfect, right? So you're not drawing a penalty on that. You can't cover anyone. You got to be all set up. First look we've seen of this season. Lopez empty in the backfield. Quick pass to Bodie Wagner. Let him work one-on-one. Wagner makes a juke to the outside, forced out of bounds by Trayshawn Shorty.
Yeah, they had King Robinson, which was the far behind guy. They had a screen look from him, and the rest of the three guys, they just went up and blocked somebody.
A lot of possibilities from that formation for Red Mountain to open things up.
There's a lot of silly stuff you can do with that.
Week to week, you see all the new installs in the offensive playbook, and it gets more and more complex as the year goes on. This time, a straightforward run with Talon Lamb. Up the middle and brought down by David Williams.
Got 3rd and inches. You have a heavy set with Schmier as the U-back. I think you go to Lamb here for,
Or you just use the hard count.
give him a freeze call.
Just a great sell job by Simon Lopez. Plenty of different ways to move the sticks. This time Red Mountain do it with the hard count. 1:21 left in the first quarter as they're right at midfield, dead center at the 50.
That's one of those drive killers. I mean, you hold them to 3rd and short. You're thinking you're going to get a stop there, and then you jump on a hard count. The wang.
Lopez gives the wang to Talon Lamb, and it's read well by Williamsfield. They've been doing their film work. It's already tackle number 3 in the first quarter for Adrian Dahlin. You get that same look we talked about earlier, that kind of diamond 4-receiver formation at the bottom of your screen.
It is a legal formation. You have 7 guys on the line.
Lopez decides to keep this time around and spins away from a tackle and has a lot of room. Lopez chased down and forced out of bounds by Tayshawn Brown, but not before he picks up the first down.
Soon Williamsfield's going to dedicate all their attention to Simon Lopez and Bodie Wagner in that rhombus formation. And soon enough, you're going to see a screen to King Robinson, and then you just have a wall of blockers, including the 3 wide receivers.
That rhombus formation, I haven't done anything to do with geometry since like my freshman year of high school.
It's either a rhombus or a diamond or however you call it.
This one's Bodie Wagner on the screen, not able to pick up too much. He gains 1, and a good stop by Dylan Forsgren. That should bring us to the end of first quarter unless Red Mountain want to work with the snap here. 8 seconds left on the game clock as Schmier goes in motion. Lopez checks it behind him. They decide to go with the play. Lopez, deep shot over the head of Wagner all the way into the end zone. And it'll bring up 3rd and 6 when we come back as the team switch sides. Red Mountain on top 21-0 on RMTV. A 21-0 lead for Red Mountain as we enter the second quarter here at Williamsfield High School for the opening night of region play in the 6A East Valley. Second down upcoming for Red Mountain as Lopez steps back in an empty set. He's able to find King Robinson out across the 30. A nice pitch and catch that time between Lopez and Robinson.
See, here we go, another 3rd and short. Do you go with the same thing with the freeze call, or are you going to run a play?
I think this time you run a play. I think it's a little bit too far and not as high tense or high intensity of a situation to try and work the hard count. They still need like 5 or 6 yards to be able to pick up the first. So it'll be up to Brian McDaniel to draw something up here. So that set us back here. That was the final play of the first quarter. So we stepped back, and there was a penalty on the previous play from Red Mountain that backed them up behind the sticks. And with the completion to King Robinson, that was the final play of the first quarter as time expired. And it's 3rd and 6 upcoming for Red Mountain as we start quarter number 2. So we'll keep it here with you and stay with on RMTV, but 12 minutes back on the clock. And now we enter the second quarter, Nate.
Yeah, I was going to say, they didn't move the chains.
Yeah,
Rather peculiar.
And that's where the line of scrimmage marker was back behind the chains. So it was 2nd and 15 on the previous play there, and Robinson was able to pick up a gain of 9 with the pitch and catch from Lopez.
Looks to be 3rd and barely under 5. 3rd and 4 to be exact. Trips to the near side.
Start of the second quarter as teams switch sides, and it's 3rd and 4 for Red Mountain. Lopez fakes the give to Lamb and pulls it down himself. Lopez with a burst of speed into the secondary, makes a man miss and down towards the 2. Simon Lopez just creating with his legs tonight.
Sells the fake well.
Touchdown saving tackle from Jacob Carrasco, and Simon Lopez playing inspired tonight. He had his first offer this week from William Woods out in Fulton, Missouri. So it's good to see Simon getting some eyes on the college level now, because he definitely has the talents and the skill set to translate.
Congratulations, fella.
Red Mountain back in the red zone for the 4th time tonight. And Lopez puts Wagner in motion. They go with Wagner on the jet sweep. Wagner cuts it back, and it's a loss of 3 as he falls down and gets spotted at the 6.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the wide receiver sort of jet sweep, but if it's in the end zone within like 10 yards, I'm looking for a Talon Lamb sort of draw play there, or a Simon Lopez QB keeper.
Paxton Thorstad in the game for the first time tonight. Set up on the left side of the line. And Lopez gives to Lamb. Lamb has a great block on the outside into the end zone. Touchdown, Talon Lamb. It's 4 for Red Mountain and 4 different touchdown scores.
The rock making its way around the field. Talon Lamb just bounces it to the outside, and it's Lamb to the slaughterhouse.
First one of the season for Talon Lamb, and that gives Red Mountain a 27-0 lead pending the extra point from Michael Singh. But just looking dominant offensively and in the trenches tonight. Singh squeaks that one through, so with 10:28 left in the first half, Red Mountain on top 28-0 on RMTV. This offensive line has been the story of the night for Red Mountain as they've been dominating the run game. You got to give a shout out to all those guys. Josh Lee getting things started at center, Jackson Griffin, Yosin East, Weston Hancock, Cole Beatty, all of them making an impact.
Yeah, I mean, from the get-go, they're controlling the offensive line. Not only controlling, but dominating. They're owning the line of scrimmage right now.
And that's been their story throughout the season. Beatty is out tonight, but a typical starter for this squad in the roster on the right side of the line at the tackle position. As Red Mountain's defense gets set back up, and they try to preserve the shutout with 10:22 left in the first half. Really been solid in all 3 levels of the game. Controlling the line of scrimmage. Your secondary have made big plays both in the aerial attack and in the ground game. Barjona rolls out to his right and looks to take a shot downfield. Barjona airs it out and connects. What a catch! All the way to the house, and a big play for Trey Smith as they go the distance. 78-yard pitch and catch, and that'll get you going for the side of Williams Field.
Yep, there we go. I said it in the first quarter. If you get him going on the short checkdowns, the short out routes, DBs are going to come up thinking, hey, they're going to throw short, and right there to Trey Smith, just a perfect deep ball. And once again, Williams Field comes crawling back.
Barjona showing off his arm. That's a 48-yard pass through the air before it touched the hands of Trey Smith, and he did the other 30 yards on the ground. All it takes is one to get going as Williams Field get on the board, and now they just trail 28-7. How important is it for them to get a big play like that to kind of spark the sideline and pick up the energy of this team?
Oh, it's huge, especially with the backup quarterback as the defensive coordinator for Red Mountain. You're kind of looking at the secondary like, guys, we need some communication. We can't be falling asleep back there. It's all about discipline. I mean, no game, especially right now. Like right now, it's a 3-possession game. They can easily crawl back into this game. I mean, just stay disciplined, stay focused, and remember the task at hand.
Pretty much instantly, that defense gets set up on their bleachers at the sideline, and they're going to watch that one back, and Enders will get them collected. The adjustments in game are something he does so well, and he'll get it under control. Packed house tonight here. Williams Field showing out for a big home game to open up region play. Student section, band, parents and fans alike showing out on the side of Red Mountain. Full crowd also. They travel well.
Full house. Red Mountain, they always travel well. Look at the state championship game.
That's one you're not going to miss.
Absolutely not. I'll call in sick to work.
Brooks Rodenbaugh sets up to kick off for Williams Field. Line drive to the left side and handled at the 25, and Arian Wyndham makes a spin move, and another one brought down at the 39. A couple of sweet moves by Wyndham, and he sets things back up for this offense.
Bit of a weird kick. It didn't turn much. It was sort of like a knuckleball. It wasn't a squib kick. It wasn't running on the ground like it usually does. They don't want it in Bodie Wagner's hands.
Yeah, I think even if Wyndham let it go, it probably would have gone out of bounds as well. But when it's coming in hot right at you, you don't really want to let it pass and see what happens on the bounce.
It's a good take. Good take by Wyndham.
Lopez with the give on first down. Jackson brought down right around the line of scrimmage. A nice stop by Josiah Ares-Mendez. And that linebacking core has been nosy all night for Williams Field. A gain of 4 on first down for Kai Jackson makes it 2nd and 6. Same look offensively, back to the pistol with Lopez and Jackson. This time the end around goes to Paxton Thorstad. Thorstad with blockers out in front. Thorstad inside the 30, and he loses the football. And I think it's held on to. Trayshawn Shorty might have gotten on top of it, and he does. So a big play from Thorstad results in a fumble, and Trayshawn Shorty able to make the recovery, and that's a huge spot for Williams Field. You have the 78-yard touchdown, and now you pick up a fumble and get your team back on offense.
I sense a momentum swing. Uncle Mo on the side of the Blackhawks. Talk about the 4 points of contact. Not a lot of room, or excuse me, a lot of room between the chest and the ball.
A great effort on the back end by Jacob Carrasco to punch that out. He's tied for first in 6A in interceptions, that time a forced fumble. Now Williamsfield set things up from their own 30, and we'll see if it can be another successful drive. Well, and hold the phones for just a second. So the officials came together, and I think that they spotted that the ball had gone out of bounds before Trayshawn Shorty was able to recover it. So this Simon Lopez-led offense back on the field, and that's a sigh of relief.
Yeah, it's a very tough call. I mean, it was right here on the 30. From our angle, it looked like the ball was recovered by Williamsfield, kind of like at the same time, essentially.
Steve Williams having a chat on, or sorry, excuse me, Steve Campbell having a chat on the sideline with the officials as they initially call it a fumble and a recovery for his team. And now they change things up and they give it to Red Mountain. Going back to that big run by Thorstad, I think the biggest part of it was the block all the way downfield by Lincoln Alicio.
Oh, yeah.
He was on his horse.
He got like rocket boosters strapped to his back there.
So 1st and 10 from the 30 for Red Mountain as Lopez sends Wyndham in motion, and he gives off to Kai Jackson up the middle. Kai Jackson scooped and booted inside the 10 and brought down by Jacob Carrasco. A 20-yard pickup on 1st down for Kai Jackson, and he's having a huge night filling the space of Jackson Bogle.
Yeah, Kai Jackson, he's carrying it like Bogle.
High and tight.
Strong grip there.
Hold on to that ball, Petey. Good run by Jackson to set up Red Mountain in the red zone. The sticks are down, and it's 1st and goal from the 10. Lopez back to pass, takes a shot to Wagner on the outside. Wagner turns upfield, forced out of bounds by Shorty at the 1.
I was going to say something about that one-on-one. A lot of times when receivers in practice, they run one-on-ones with the corner. They usually go for these 10-yard out or curls.
Death taxes and Brian McDaniel going up-tempo with his offense. This time, Wagner able to fight in for the touchdown. B-Dubs continues to dominate 6A as he's number 5 in receiving yards, and he was 14th in touchdowns headed into this game. He tacks on another.
Simple screenplay, pitch and catch. Wyndham is blocking, does a great job at getting the corner involved in him instead of Bodie Wagner.
Singh stays true and perfect on the night with extra points, and Red Mountain extend the lead 35-7 with 8:37 left on RMTV. 5 different touchdown scorers for Red Mountain tonight. Bodie Wagner with the latest, a 1-yard pitch and catch from Simon Lopez, and they lead 35-7 over Williamsfield. A dominant look for this offense and plenty of mouths to feed, Nate.
Yeah, I want to say this though about Williamsfield. The fumble recovery getting reversed, that can kill momentum, but at the same time it builds momentum. In essence, you kind of force a turnover, and the kickoff return right there, just another momentum killer.
Williamsfield will start this drive inside their own territory at the 11. Still 8:32 left in the first half, and I think this Steve Campbell team is built on adversity. When I talked to him prior to the game, he knew this was going to be a tough matchup, right? A bunch of injuries. He loses Cody Guy, his starting quarterback. But at the end of the day, he told me football is football, right? You get lined up right, and you execute. That's what his team looking to do going into the half here.
Yep, ball is ball, life is life. When there's life, there comes adversity. I mean, you kind of have to just face it head on. It's kind of it's a blessing to be faced with a challenge every once in a while. You can't just things in life. Not everything's going to go your way.
That time Barjona with the give to Kersner, and a nice stop made by Cade Godair. Talk about the depth offensively with 5 different touchdown scorers, but the same thing with this defense. Godair been in, Zach Whitney making an impact the past couple of weeks. Injuries are going to hit you all season long, and Red Mountain have plenty of guys to step up.
Yeah, they're deep, especially at that linebacker position.
Barjona looking deep again, has an opening and a step, a little bit underthrown. That time he was looking to connect with John Booker on the deep shot, unable to do so. Logan Haney with some good closing speed.
Yeah, good closing speed. Good thing he wasn't very physical with the receiver. Really no need to be physical with that receiver unless it was a very, very close ball. By that time, it was out of his reach.
3rd and 14 for Williamsfield, deep in their own territory. Crowd in Red Mountain gets going. Barjona rolling to the left. Rock Miller chasing him down. And Barjona elects to just throw it away and get the punt unit back on the field.
See, this is where the punt unit is. We talk about adversity. This is where the punt unit is going to have some adversity right here. You're pinned deep into your own territory. Inside the 10. Punter is congested inside the end zone. Putting the pressure on Williamsfield here.
You just want to execute the fundamentals at this point if you're Williamsfield. Good quick snap and just get the punt off. Doesn't matter how deep it is. You just don't want to have this one blocked. Lutt all the way pinned in his own end zone. Ready to kick it off to Tyreek Cornett. Good jump, and that one barely gets away. Nice kick from Lutt. It backs Cornett back across to his own 48. Cornett tries to make a move, and he stood up right around the 50. And that's best case scenario that time around for Williamsfield as Blake Strauss makes the stop.
Well, despite being contested, I say that was a pretty good job by the punter there.
Lutt almost got that one to turn over a little bit in the air. That's one of those nice high kicks where it switches directions. Cornett was able to get back to the 49, and Red Mountain picked things up with 7:41 left in the first half, leading 35-7 here on RMTV. A perfect 5 for 5 on the night for this offense up to this point. Lopez fakes to Lamb and Wyndham. Lopez escapes pressure out of the pocket.
A lot of real estate.
And Simon Lopez running the most tonight that he has all season as he steps out right around the 25.
Whole lot of real estate there.
That's something that Lopez has almost seemed to be sparing and hanging on to a portion of his game on the season, right? He hasn't had to run too much with the protection he's had against teams like Valley Vista, Mesa, and Desert Ridge to start the season, but tonight he's opening things up with his legs.
Could this be doing part of Williamsville getting a bit of a pass rush into the pocket?
I think so. Playing the run especially, and then in the passing game, Lopez just knows how to step up and escape. Flag deep in the secondary. It's going to be a delay of game against Red Mountain. That's the third week in a row that Red Mountain have failed to get a snap off and have had at least one delay of game penalty. Backs things up now to the 32, and it's 1st and 15. Wyndham motions, and Lopez with the keeper up the middle. Simon Lopez slides down. Talk about preserving the body, that time to slide. And towards the back end, a tough look. Jackson Griffin hobbled up. It looked like at the end of the play, David Pearson kind of slid down right into the left knee of Griffin in sort of a dangerous spot, right? When the linemen get into play and hit the deck, you never want to get rolled up on. Looks like Griffin able to get to the sideline okay, and a timeout taken. With 7:07 left, we'll step away on RMTV. A good sight to see if you're a Red Mountain fan. Jackson Griffin back on the field, set up at left tackle for this offense. Always a dangerous play when you get rolled up on. And safe to assume he'll be coming back out with a vengeance for this one. Lopez sets up in the backfield with Lamb. 7:07 left in the first half. And Red Mountain looking to convert on their 6th straight drive of the game. The option, and Lamb handles the pitch well. Tough play, got out in front of him, but steady hands by Talon Lamb.
That could have gotten really bad really quick. Ooh, a lot of fingertips.
Good adjustment made. Lopez looking to get his team going and convert this 3rd down. Kai Jackson back into the game. They go with the hard count again. Check with me game, and he looks back to Brian McDaniel for the call. Lopez fakes, rolls out, and sets up the tight end work with Andrew Schmier. Schmier with a little stutter step to the side, and Schmier steps out of bounds before he can get to the end zone, but it moves the chains. And just a little slip route from Andrew Schmier gets things going for Red Mountain.
Just a one-on-one arrow route. He's just one mountain lion, one Black Hawk. Nobody else enters the arena. Andrew Schmier just makes a one-man miss, and he's inside the 10.
Red Mountain still able to pick up a 1st down. It looks like they spotted him out at the 11. So Lopez gives it to Kai Jackson, and he gets to the 10 for a gain of 1. Lamb now races back out onto the field and replaces Kai Jackson. We've hit the 6-minute mark in the 2nd quarter here between Williamsfield and Red Mountain on RMTV. As Red Mountain, they still have 22 left on the play clock, but getting the signal from the sideline. Will we see a 6th different touchdown scorer for Red Mountain tonight? Lopez fakes to Lamb and has Schmier. Schmier finds the edge and forced out of bounds at the 4.
Lamb got absolutely popped on that play.
Sometimes play action isn't your friend if you're the running back.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Good toughness from Talon Lamb to stay in there. 5'9", 155, what he's listed at. And he took a brunt of it from Ares Mendez, who's 5'11", 200. 3rd down and 4, Red Mountain can still pick up a first. Wagner in motion. Lopez gives it to Lamb. Lamb cuts back. I don't know if he got the first down. It looks like he'll be a yard short, and we'll see what Brian McDaniel elects to do here.
Fourth and goal. Got the U back, Alex Nord, in the game. The offensive lineman converted fullback.
What do you like here for the call?
I'm thinking fullback dive, baby.
Let's see what the call is. Schmier motions. Lopez takes it, gives it to Lamb, unevaded into the end zone. The second one tonight for Talon Lamb.
Well, it was close to a fullback dive. Halfback dive works as well. Red Mountain once again controlling the line of scrimmage, taking ownership. License renewed. And Enders may have to call off the dogs on this one.
It sort of happened in this matchup last season. They won it 40-21 was the final. And it got to a point where they were up 40-7. As the extra point up and through, 42-7. So a little bit of a deja vu look here for Red Mountain.
Just about to say.
On top big against Williamsfield, 42-7, 4:43 left in the first half. And we'll be back on RMTV. A statement from Red Mountain to open region play against Williamsfield, a 42-7 lead with 4:43 left in the first half. As they kick things back to Williamsfield, who look to get started and find a scoring drive to head into the half. Return towards the near side and cut back upfield. A burst of speed out across the 40, and the stop made by Cade Godere, who's gotten his nose in a couple times tonight, but a big return from Jeremiah Wallace.
Finds a seam. That's where the people in the middle, called the crazies, that's when they're supposed to come in the middle and make the play right there. Must have got widened, gone to the outside somehow by the KOR squad.
It's everything you could ask for if you're Williamsfield. Good position on the field to start up at your own 40, and plenty of time to work with on this drive and punch one into the end zone heading into the half. But as we've seen all season with Red Mountain, they kick off to start the game, so they'll get the ball back to begin the second.
Watch the deep ball here.
They decide to go to Skillings, and he's swallowed up pretty quickly after a gain of 3. Jamison Wade in at the bottom of the pile. Haven't called his name tonight a lot, and that's something that we're used to in this matchup. Just a season ago, he had 3 tackles and a forced fumble. Jackson White now joins the linebacking core for Red Mountain for the first time this evening. Tyreek Cornett singled up at the bottom of the screen. Another handoff to Skillings, who looks to get the outside, makes a hurdle, and able to eclipse the 50.
Just a hard runner. Q Skillings.
Good positive movement from the Williamsfield offense this time around. Isaac Haney in on that stop. But Williamsfield have it across the 50 and in Red Mountain territory. Taking their time with 3:38 left on the clock here in the first half. Big bodies up front. They went away from Malachi Joyner on the previous run. We'll see if they work that right side of the line this time around. It's the reverse as they give it to Kurtzner, and he loses the football. Jamison Wade looks to scoop it up and has it, and Red Mountain turn this game back around in their favor. Already up 42-7. Jamison Wade with a big fumble recovery, and Red Mountain have the opportunity to extend it even further.
Just a case of doing a little too much.
They try a double reverse, and Wade was all over it. Every time he does something offensively, he does something defensively in the same game. Has a rushing touchdown tonight and now a fumble recovery.
Two-way players, man. They do it all.
He doesn't even need that many snaps two ways. He'll be in those jumbo sets at the goal line for like maybe 3 plays a game. He's efficient. Lopez takes the gift from Jamison Wade with the fumble recovery, and we'll see if he can turn something into it. The flip to Jackson, doubled back to Lopez. He takes a shot at the end zone. Schmier, jump ball, get mossed. Touchdown, Andrew Schmier.
On his head. The head top by Andrew Schmier. That was almost cruel and unusual punishment by Simon Lopez and Brian McDaniel. Up high.
Down low. Williamsfield a little bit too slow on that one in the secondary. It's a 48-7 lead with 3:05 left in the first half. The Red Mountain crowd loving it.
Almost poetic justice. I mean, Brian McDaniel called a flea flicker play. The end around, reverse, whatever, back to Simon Lopez, throws it deep over to Andrew Schmier. Almost like a taste of his own medicine kind of ordeal.
Michael Singh tacks on the extra point, a 49-7 lead. Still 3:05 left here in the first half on RMTV. We welcome you back into the broadcast here on RMTV. We'd like to take some time to shout out our sponsors. Weathermasters, family owned and operated since 1983. Plumbing, AC, and water treatment specialist. A proud sponsor of our boys at Red Mountain High School. And Chuck's Fine Meats. Quality meats for all your grilling needs. Family owned, located at McKellips and Power. Great people and great service. And a continued proud sponsor of RM football as this one into the end zone for a touchback. And all these sponsors probably ecstatic with the performance that Red Mountain putting on the field right now, up 49-7 with 2:44 and ticking left in this first half as Red Mountain get the running clock going for the 4th time this season.
Yep, this is the moment of the game where you kind of call off the dogs and make sure every dog gets a bone, you know.
They've already had plenty, and Talon Lamb and Andrew Schmier have gotten a couple extra. They finished their first one quick, 2 touchdowns for each of them on the night. And this defense has just been stellar all season, especially only allowing 13 points a game on average. And most of that average raised up with the game last week against Downey. Prior to that, they hadn't given up more than 10, which was week 1 against Mesa. Deep shot to the boundaries. Good pitch and catch. Trey Foster on the reception. Moves the chains, and a good look for Williamsfield on first down.
Say if Cornette was closer, he may have another pick six pizza. 2 on the year for him. I consider him a regular at Barrows.
He's one of those guys who he just reads it. He kind of, throughout the game, he'll feel out the offense and find one of those routes he wants to jump. And like you said, 2 on the year, he's been good at it. That one running away from his body, throws it away. Junior Nixon in on pursuit. Changed to number 56 on the season. Nixon had to because he's getting snaps both ways now. Despite the scoreline and everything, I think that Dominic Barjona, he's done a pretty good job with the way he rolls out of the pocket, looking to find receivers. I know Isaac Haney has a pick on him early in this game, but for a sophomore just kind of getting called up with an injury to Cody Guy, he's looked good, especially with that deep shot.
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, it takes him a few drives to sort of get into a rhythm. Get into a rhythm. I mean, that's all you can ask for in a young guy like him. I think when Cody Guy graduates, he takes the reins. I think the program's in good hands.
Pressure on back-to-back plays from Junior Nixon, really showing out. 8 tackles on the season, coming off a tackle against Downey and 2 against Desert Ridge. And a big 3rd down and 10 upcoming for both sides. Red Mountain back off the pressure. Barjona has time.
Clean pocket.
Steps up into the throw, wide open, connects with Braden Kersner. And 2 first downs on this drive for Williamsfield. Only 30 seconds left in the half, so they got to work quick.
It's a good, clean pocket.
Yeah, with the running clock going, Steve Campbell decides to take a timeout here. I think it's a smart play. Your offense has gotten a couple first downs on this drive, showing signs of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Builds momentum and builds character.
What do you look for? I mean, you're limited on time, running out of timeouts. Do you try and get one of those deep shots over the top? I feel like it's something Red Mountain will be expecting at this stage.
Definitely expecting the deep ball here. I mean, anything beyond 10 yards, honestly. The outbreak, or excuse me, the out on the last play was not contested. There was nobody within 5 yards within the receiver. Shirley Enders is kind of talking to the guy, saying, hey, maybe not that too much cushion.
I feel like he's one of the coaches who's kind of just against prevent defense, right? You're not just going to set guys back, hold the line. His guys are going to be up and play. He'll bring pressure on some 3rd down situations, even in a spot like this in the game where you're up 49-7.
Yeah, from what I can remember, he is not a very prevent defense kind of guy. He wants to apply some pressure. Maybe at most he'll send 3 guys deep, guard the sticks if it's like 3rd and 20 in a very close affair. But he's never a guy that's like, okay, everybody get back. He's always a guy that's going to cover all three divisions of depth on the football field. Short, medium, long. He's always got somebody in each.
They set up with the standard look. And 1st and 10 here for Williamsfield. Barjona taking pressure off the edge. Nice job stepping up and taking the deep shot. Haney looking for his second tonight. Can't hang on. But Isaac Haney almost had his second pick. Good defense from Trey Foster, the receiver for Williamsfield.
That was a great battle. Great battle between corner and receiver. Almost had a sack there. He just lets the air out.
Barjona's got a big arm for his size, I'll tell you that much.
I've got a cannon, a howitzer.
2nd down and 10, 24 seconds left in the first half. And Barjona going to face pressure here and take a shot towards Gamba. Jousting for position, and the flag comes in. Gamba's going to get called for a hold that time.
Yeah, he was grasping the jersey there. It was a pretty clear-cut call there.
Nolan Tyler, the intended receiver, did a good job battling for position and able to draw the penalty flag.
Grab the jersey right there.
Still, like we mentioned, though, Enders drawing up pressure. Brought 5 that time, and Barjona able to stay calm, cool, and collective to get the pass off. Nixon, Griffin, and Saddleoff back in at the line for Red Mountain. And they'll probably be in to close out the first half. Williamsfield looking to cut the lead as much as they can here, down 49-7 in the first half. And Barjona waiting to get the call from the sideline. Play clock hasn't restarted yet, so I think our officials just making sure the spot is right after the penalty yardage, as Williamsfield have it at the 38. Barjona rolls to his left. Pressure, Red Wing in on the sack.
Just great contain with a mobile quarterback like him. Man, he read that like he was playing linebacker or something.
We talked about the deja vu earlier that we felt with Red Mountain getting out to a big lead and the running clock going. Guess who had a sack last year against Williamsfield?
Jacob Redwing.
That would be correct, sir. Another big one here tonight. 6 tackles last season to go along with that sack. And the Red Mountain defense playing great to end this first half. 10 seconds left on the clock here. And Steve Campbell has taken another timeout to preserve that. He knows Barjona has the arm to get it 50, so maybe just a Hail Mary look here, but the sack with a loss of 12, 2nd and 22 upcoming.
Question is here, will the Blackhawks go for some type of chicanery or trickery? Will they go back to that end around, maybe do something similar to Red Mountain's last touchdown where they pitch it back to the quarterback and he lets it rip? A lot of options here, but you talk about prevent defense. You got 5 DBs, and they all backing up.
Barjona steps up into the pocket, able to escape. Looked like bowling pins going down to the Red Mountain defense. That one thrown up, and Haney has his second of the night. 2 picks for Isaac Haney.
Got a flag on the line of scrimmage. It looked like illegal forward pass. Prediction call is going to stand in favor of Red Mountain.
Ineligible receiver downfield, and I think Red Mountain will decline that, right? They're able to do so and just take it into the half, and the pick should count. So now Isaac and Logan Haney have combined for 5 interceptions on the season between the 2 brothers. And Red Mountain off to a dominant start to this game. 49-7 they lead as we head into the half, and we'll step away and have the second half action on RMTV.
Listen, we have 1 or 2 things that are going to happen. We'll continue playing their football, and you guys are going to take the loss. They can't stop us on O. We make mistakes on special teams and stupid shit. We need some leadership. We talked about it. Relax, guys. We are a better football team, you understand? We pride ourselves on 2 things. Physicality and discipline. Right now we have neither of them. It should be 28-7.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Honor Bowl.
A lot on the line tonight for both these teams as it serves as a true measuring stick of where they shape up to start the season. Section play, this Downey team, they're real good.
I can count dope money wearing a blindfold.
We're underway at Red Mountain High School in Mesa, Arizona. And they go back to the ground. Bogle untouched into the end zone. Red Mountain on top early. Rios looks to run and he goes down. Shot out of a cannon. Roden picks up a sack.
Shooters on the live foes. The money that I hide grows. It's fried red snap with a salmon bait. And it's
a Wildcat look as Wagner takes the handoff and races out to the near sideline. Bodie Wagner into the end. The extra point from Singh is up and through. Wagner with the burst of speed. Wagner cuts back to the inside. Does he have enough gas to do it 2 weeks in a row? He sure does. Bodie Wagner.
Put it on the scale, dog.
Wide open, Lambs, a burst of speed down the sideline, Talon Lamb into the end zone.
Yeah, I've been through hell, dog.
Lopez takes a shot towards the middle of the field. Bodie Wagner into the end zone.
I've been trying to tell y'all. Yeah, I've been through hell, dog.
Chris in motion, and he gets one out of the backfield, blown up. Nowhere to go. Takes the pressure. Schmear wide open over the top. Andrew Schmear, 45 yards.
A couple shooters on the corner thinking they KD. When you broke, you take a different route. You do some things you want to forget about. You do some things you thought
There's a pick for Cornett. Tyreek Cornett has been looking all night, and he gets the pick six.
You know your uncle with that itch, right? That's why the spoon's in your kitchen bent.
Victory formation for Red Mountain.
Back to Cali. Coach Kyle Edwards in Red Mountain.
Yeah, maybe. Different uniforms, right? See? That's gotta be amazing having two players. At the beginning. So how was that Saturday? Just sleep all day? These kids.
We're continuing to have entertainment, this time at the Cooley Middle School. Fans, step up.
See the things are different? One says lion, the other one has the just a red mountain. So which one?
Look out the straight though. Yeah. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, she's not getting close. I get anxiety when I watch them do it.
You gotta give this ball to a lucky kid. I don't know if this guy with the microphone is.
Candid camera.
Well, I guess we gotta sit on the home team next week. Right? So there's gonna be a lot of parents there. Right. So when you got a big stadium, right? It's not like that. Yeah, they made this school for 4A and Higley too, but they didn't know how big we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, because you guys are close together. Is that the Toros? Yeah. So a lot of guys I work with well, back in 20 years ago, back when we yeah. Well, when the guys I worked with, when they were in high school, that was the Toros. That was the Toros. This is hot and Highland. You really don't care who wins though.
I cheer for whoever first.
Exciting. I know. They big, and you guys got big schools. Yeah, it's close. It's like they both count. I think Higley's got a little bit more fans than this one, right? It is a little bit more crowd. Yeah. Highland always had a good team. But Highland's always been a good team. Always. Even their fans. They like
Yeah. A statement first half for Red Mountain, and looking to make another one to start things off here in the second, as it's a big return, and Haney sets things up easily. We welcome you back here on RMTV alongside Nate Smith. I'm Zach Warhack, and coming out of halftime, just a big spot for Red Mountain. They like to decline, they like to kick off to start the first half, and we've seen a statement like that to begin the second half before. Bodie Wagner with a kickoff return for a touchdown a couple of weeks ago to begin the second.
Yeah, definitely. It sets a tone for the game. It kind of sets what your goals are, and right there, just a huge return for Red Mountain sets up essentially goal to go situation right here.
Already in red zone territory as the return from Haney gets him to the 20. Running clock stays true, and it will be for the remainder of the second half as Lopez sets up with Kai Jackson behind him. Lopez fakes and gives it to Wyndham on the end around. Arian Wyndham brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Ares Mendez for a loss of 3.
You know, that's the type of return you need against these good teams. Just want to point out the Highland Hawks, they're holding Chandler to 7 points and heading into the third quarter. It may seem like a close game, but Highland is routing Chandler.
That's a big one as it leads us to the matchup next week where Red Mountain will host Highland at home as region play continues. Lopez on 2nd and 12, back to pass, tries to escape pressure. I don't know how he held on to that football. It looked like it could have been stripped out 3 different times as Leon Bracken will be credited with the sack, but Lopez, a good job securing the ball.
I don't know how he managed to keep hold of that ball.
The first real chink in the armor of Red Mountain with that offensive line giving up a sack, the first one of the night. Lopez late to get the play call, 2 seconds left on the play clock, and Red Mountain elect to take a timeout. So the sack causes some troubles and confusion for Red Mountain as they elect to take the timeout, but it looks like Williamsfield coming out to play defensively to start this second half. I know you give up the big special teams play, the return out to the 20, but the defense now has Red Mountain behind the sticks.
Yeah, the defense is going to have to do a good job at sort of rebounding after the long kickoff return. Not very ideal. On the kickoff return, I think that's a containment issue by the outside guy. Once again, may have came up a little too far inside, causing the returner to go directly around. Mistakes like that lead to these big highlight reels for the returner.
3rd and 22 as we come out of the timeout here on RMTV with 9:35 left in the third quarter. We've seen Lopez and company convert on deeper thirds and go. A couple of weeks ago they had 36 to get to the sticks and they picked it up. Schmier motions into the backfield. Lopez gives to King Robinson on the end around, and Robinson has some blockers. Gets back close to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th and 14, it looks like, for Red Mountain, and I believe they send the special teams unit out. And for the first time tonight, it'll be an attempted field goal.
Yeah, just play it conservative, don't lose the ball. You have 2 different kickers on the roster. You got Gallegos for sort of these long attempts, and then you have Michael Singh, who's doing a great job at the extra points in the short field goal game.
A 40-yard attempt for Gallegos as he gives the nod. Good snap, good hold. And Gallegos with the boot sneaks through the right upright, and he tacks on 3, 52-7 off the leg of Gallegos. A big kick, everything going right for Red Mountain.
Got a good boot out of that one. Just like the kickoffs.
Execution on all levels for Red Mountain, and 8:46 left in the third. They lead 52-7. We'll take some time to shout out a few more sponsors here. Tate's AC Heating and Cooling, honest and dependable service and maintenance since 1990. Tate's AC is a proud sponsor of RM Football. Also, Dr. Douglas Griffin, Ortho Arizona, was voted 2024 top doctor in Phoenix Magazine. He is Red Mountain football foot and ankle specialist and a proud sponsor of Red Mountain football. So following the long field goal, a kickoff upcoming for Red Mountain, and the defense will get their first look of the second half. You talk about switching it up in the areas of the game that they have with the 2 kickers, where you see Gallegos on kickoff, Singh's extra point, Singh in to kick one off here.
More like a you get one, I get one.
This one's set up to be returned by Kersner. Kersner cuts it back towards the middle of the field, out to the 30. Looked like the initial stop made by Roston Wood. Some building blocks for the offense to come out with Williams Field. You know you've had the deep ball working, and Q Skillings, he's had a couple big runs bumped out to the outside that have been effective, so it's kind of just what you can bring into the next week. You know, pending a miracle, I don't think we're going to see a comeback here, so everyone playing for pride and efficiency and rolling into the next week matchup at this point.
Yeah, definitely give yourself something you can hang your hat on. I will say in the near future, this two-headed Hydra, or two-headed back, attack by Williamsfield is going to be very important in the future. Corshawn Hill and Q Skillings, I think that's going to be a power duo to watch for this season.
Skillings stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by Zach Whitney, as he continues to play well for this Red Mountain squad in the past couple of weeks. Queen Creek sets up to be the opponent for Williamsfield next week as they hit the road once again, as they'll look to get guys healthy and back into it. I know we mentioned it shortly earlier, but this running game vacating a lot from Dylan Lee a season ago. 227 carries for 2,012 yards and 27 touchdowns on the ground. One of the best backs in the state of Arizona.
That guy's just a stud. I mean, him leaving Williamsfield was definitely a blow to this team, but I think his leadership has definitely worn off on guys like Corshawn Hill and Q Skillings.
Yeah, in that final season with him as a senior, 9 games over 100 yards. He averaged 167 a game. And as you mentioned, he's taken his talents to Iowa State. He was the number 65 national ranked running back according to ESPN. And just kind of rolling along. We've seen a couple other players go to Iowa State from Arizona. Brock Purdy, the biggest one, to name a few. And now Dylan Lee kind of waiting his turn in that backfield.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you said 167 yards a game?
On average.
Unbelievable. Just a bell cow. Just a bell cow.
A good pitch and catch and third down conversion for Williamsfield here as they look to continue to have the offense rolling. It's just fun when you have the opportunity to watch one of those guys, right? When you know someone's going to be destined for greatness, putting up huge stat lines. And Williamsfield has always been great at running the football, but he was special.
Yeah, talk about just seeing one of those guys perform, Dylan Raiola. I remember when we played Dylan Raiola, yes, it came in a losing effort, but just seeing him play was special. You kind of just, you knew he was destined to do great things.
Chunk plays continue for Williamsfield. Skillings picks up 12 on the carry, and Williamsfield have found some positive action with a nice little pull play block in on the front of the line. That's Malachi Joyner coming all the way across to open the hole for Skillings. Plus territory now for Williamsfield. I formation, and they give to Skillings. This time he bounces to the outside. Another big gain, a pickup of 10. And Skillings turning things up on this drive. I know we talk about the big loss of Corshawn Hill being injured, but it's kind of been a running back committee between these two guys, close to even carries. Coming into the game tonight, Corshawn Hill, he only had 5 more carries than Skillings.
Very interesting. Two-headed attack here.
They go play action here. That one just over the top and a nice move at the end. It'll be a brought down inside the 5, it looks like, and Williamsfield putting a drive together. Nice pitch and catch between Trey Smith and Dominic Barjona.
See, Colin McMullen was on the stop. He's not even on the screen. He just hustles to the play. Number 43 right there. He makes the play right there.
Good stop to save the touchdown, and Kyle Enders wants to talk things over with his defense. He takes a timeout, and with 4:09 left here in the third, we'll do the same on RMTV. You can see Kyle Enders in the huddle getting his team fired up to try and make a goal line stand here. They lead 52-7 with 4:09 left in the third on RMTV. As always, a big shout out to our student-run production crew and everyone working and volunteering for these games. They do an amazing job here at RMTV. Back with Nate Smith, I'm Zach Warhack. And Williamsfield looking to punch things in. They give to Skillings, he bounces it to the outside. And he's brought down by Jacob Redwing out of bounds. It's a good story, this Williamsfield team. We know that they were in those lower ranks. I know we changed from divisions to the whole A look in Arizona high school football, but a 5A squad for a long time. Won a couple of state championships back in 2016 and 2019. As Skillings gets another give, this time heads into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Q Skillings. And that makes it 52-14. But then Williamsfield, they bounce in to 6A and have been standing strong. This just the 5th meeting between these two teams. Split down the middle at 2-2. Red Mountain had the win last year, 40-21. Kind of sandwiched there in the middle with 2 losses for Red Mountain and then a win, 21-18 back in 2020-21 season.
Yeah, this is one of those newer regional rivalries. I mean, it's not up there by any means with Highland or that one academic institution across the street. But, you know, it's a region game. You treat it just like any other game. Play hard, play fast, blinking us over, you know. The goal always remains the same, win.
The extra point stays true for Williamsfield, so it makes it 52-14 with 3:38 left in the third. And we'll take some more time to run through a few more sponsors. White Water would like to remind you to stay refreshed. please contact Whitewater for all your water needs. Whitewater is a proud sponsor of Red Mountain football. That's a good one to keep in mind because we don't even feel like we're touching fall at this point, Nate. It's still 100. You said 104 at kickoff is what we were facing?
Yep.
Doesn't feel good, I'll tell you that much. It's nice to be back home next week against Highland, to be back in that air-conditioned booth. It'll feel nice for us.
Oh.
You're dreaming about it right now, aren't you?
I'm dreaming so much about it, I can feel the AC.
So it'll be the 40 for Williams Field to set up on the kickoff following the Q Skillings touchdown, and he kind of did it all on that drive. He had a run of 12, 10, 8, and then the final blow into the end zone.
Yeah, it's definitely the bell cow of that drive. Just kind of hand it to him, chunk plays.
Wyndham has some speed and some moves. This time he breaks out and takes the sideline. Arian Wyndham cuts it back and gets across the 40, brought down at the 36. And I'll tell you what, that when he gets into open space, that's a big part of Arian Wyndham's game, especially in the receiving game offensively. When he catches a ball, what he can do after the catch is exceptional, and this time showing off in the special teams.
Well, I'll tell you what, he shot out of a cannon through that hole, and you got to give a shout out to the guys on KOR. I mean, the blocks were just perfect. It's not a kill shot. You just kind of have to finesse your way into the defender.
Second team sets up now for Red Mountain. Haven Lyon Jones into spearhead things. Justin Collier at the bottom of your screen. The give to Lamb on a little counter action, brought down pretty much immediately by Adrian Dahlin. Dahlin staying consistent tonight as he did last season. Had 15 tackles in this matchup against Red Mountain. 6 so far on the evening, but Dahlin, one of those top backers for this squad.
Like I said earlier, he's the leader of that defense.
Right now an offer from Eastern Washington. And you expect more of those to kind of flood in. This time Lyon Jones goes to the air and it's picked off, and that one's going to be a house call all the way for Trayshawn Shorty. Jumped the route and the pick 6 for Shorty.
I think Jay Williams on that play, 85, slipped up there. Sign of the turf monster. Actually, no, he was looking for number 84. Owen Frost. Just a curl route. Cornerback beats it, and Lyon Jones throws a second pick 6.
Third interception of the season for Trayshawn Shorty. That's the first one that he's had for a house call. I think we just bring that luck, Nate. We've had a pick 6 in so many games this season. Extra point up and through, so Williams Field chipping away even with that running clock being going. 52-21 now the score. And signs of life here in the second half.
There are going to be some teaching moments on the sideline here for the backups. Some coaching tips, behavioral tips.
I think the big thing is it just shows what you have in a Steve Campbell team for Williams Field. No quit, right? Even though the score line was 49-7 coming out of the half, his guys still going and full steam ahead.
I mean, if you ask me, that's pretty much elementary. I mean, regardless of the score, you still have to give it 110% effort. Regardless if you're up by 30, down by 30, or even tied, you give 110% effort.
Good response in the second half for Williams Field. As their first drive, they brought all the way down for the Q Skillings rushing touchdown. Then the offense doesn't even get a second look. It's a pick 6 for Trayshawn Shorty, the senior cornerback. Red Mountain have been good in the return game tonight. Brooks Rodenbach gets set to kick this one back. Wyndham, the deepest to receive yet again. Thorstad is going to come up and field it instead, and he waits to set up a couple of blocks, and he's brought down around the 28. Nice stop made by Jacob Carrasco. He's been good on special teams tonight. So Lion Jones and company take the field again, and they'll get a second look this time around. What do you think the message is on the sideline after just a play like that from Brian McDaniel, the offensive coordinator for this squad?
You know what? It's all about not making mistakes. It was an ill-advised throw. Frost was covered up. And, just go over your reads. If he's not open, then look to the second guy. If the second guy's not open, go to the third guy, vice versa.
Back to the ground for Red Mountain as Kai Jackson gets stood up by Dylan Forsgren. Just back to the line of scrimmage this time around for Red Mountain. Schmier checks into the game, replaces Victor Johansson, who comes hustling off to the sideline. And now Lion Jones good to take the snap. Check with me game, 15 seconds left on the play clock, 35 on the game clock.
Didn't get him on the hard count.
Back to the ground, and Kai splits loose into the second level and brought down by the ankles, and that's a tough one where you can't really brace yourself when you're going down. Forsgren got in and both legs taken, and Jackson just hits the ground, but not until he picked up a first.
Yeah, he kind of slid awkwardly for 3 yards. Turf burn.
He's got the protection taped up around the elbows and everything, right?
Yep, turf tape.
Time going to expire after that one here in the third quarter ends 52-21. Red Mountain on top, and we'll step away and have the fourth quarter and rest of the game here on RMTV. Fourth quarter action set to start on RMTV. It looks like another one will be tallied on to the win column for Red Mountain as they hit the bulk of their schedule with region play. As we mentioned, we have it circled on the calendar at home against Highland next week. It'll be a big matchup for this team, and everyone's excited for it, Nate, as they're set up here on 1st and 10. Lion Jones with the give to Jackson up the middle, picks up a few, able to escape through the trenches and pull out some positive yardage. But when me and you were chatting with Enders earlier this week and tonight prior to the game, he said, listen, we always have that extra intensity for the rivalry game against Mountain View, but the one against Highland is a big one for us too.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest rivalry that was sparked. I want to say maybe 2021 when Red Mountain lost to Highland in the semis, and then it was just that hatred between those two schools has just been building and building ever since. Definitely a game that is circled, highlighted, asterisked, or starred on the schedule.
I think the biggest thing just comes to closing for Red Mountain. They've been up through 3 quarters in those games, or at least into the second half the past 2 years, and Highland have pulled off the comeback successfully.
Just foot on the gas.
Third down and short upcoming for Red Mountain. Kai Jackson has had all the work in this second half in the backfield, besides one carry to Talon Lamb. Lion Jones gives to Jackson again, stumbles a bit. I think diving across had enough to pick up the first down just at the line to gain, And the chains continue to move on the drive for this Red Mountain offense. Good stability, lower body strength by Jackson.
It's a great second effort. I mean, I didn't think he would get there. He stumbled, he dove that extra 3 yards, and he got the first down.
Jackson with a rushing touchdown on the night already. A dual threat RB, able to do it in the passing game as well. And I think it's just a testament to the depth of this team. When Jackson Bogle goes down, Lamb and Jackson step up. Kai Jackson has it again, good cutback. Fights for the extra yardage, brought down at the 43. Tell you what, Lincoln Alicio has made a couple big blocks tonight. We saw the one all the way downfield when Paxton Thorstad was going on the sideline with the fumble that got called back.
Yep.
And right there, just getting downfield, marking the man and getting the job done.
Yeah, put a target on man. And that guy is only a junior. Pair him up with Josh Lee and Yosanise. Going to be a pair to be reckoned with.
Jackson has the outside, finds the right hash, and picks up another first down. Back to the ground, pounding the rock on this drive for Red Mountain.
Tell you what, Kai Jackson, he hasn't had a lot of 15-plus yard runs, but he sure can get those 8 yards, 5 yards a pop. Not a big guy by any means, but he's able to get those yards.
Back to the ground again for Jackson. Clogged up at the middle. Pressure caused on the back end by Joshua Chappelle. No huddle this time around for Red Mountain, but they take the time to look back to the sideline and get the signal. Lion Jones has 10 left on the play clock, gets it off in time, and Jackson with another tries to cut back, swallowed up by Dylan Forsgren into the backfield. Nice stop by Forsgren.
Good stop there by Williamsfield. Able to contain the edge there. They pushed Yost back a little bit. They had 2 guys there able to make the stop. Yost fell down. Instead of it being a 2-on-2, it was a 2-on-1 mismatch in favor of the Blackhawks.
Brings up 3rd and 10 here from the Williamsfield 34. Lion Jones, another give to Jackson up the middle, and Jackson fighting towards the first down marker. Forward progress stalls out at the 26. So he'll be short of the first down, and we'll see if the field goal unit comes back out onto the field. I know you talked about Jackson. He's able to easily pick up those kind of 5-6, rip off a chunk play here and there. On the season coming into this one, Red Mountain as a team averaging close to 6 a carry.
6 yards per carry, regardless of who's carrying it. That's a win. That's a team win right there. If you get 6 yards per carry, 2 carries, and you get a first down, essentially.
Offense stays out on the field for the time being. You can see all the work Jackson has had. That turf tape, it's gone about halfway down his arm now, not sticking anymore. Jackson takes it, the run read perfectly, and Forsgren with another stop, a tackle for loss. He averages 5.8 a game and picks up 1 there.
We're going to see what happened on the replay. They didn't get a down block. They had the 2 guard, they had the guard and the tackle on the left side pull, and they had the run going to the left. I'm not no rocket science. I think that run was supposed to go to the right. Had that gone to the right, I think Kai Jackson may have gotten a 15-plus yard rush.
It's a turnover on downs instead, and Williamsfield take the field. We'll see how aggressive they get here on first down. It's a deep ball, and they'll go all the way deep. They have a man wide open for Trey Foster. off to the races, outruns Cornett, and it's another deep shot, the second one of the night for Williams Field.
Seems to be some miscommunication between Red Wing and Cornett and Grady English.
Barjona has had the deep ball working tonight. That's the second one he connected on. Not as far as that 78-yard one the first time, but still a good throw to hook up with his man Trey Foster for the fourth time this season.
I think on that play, Cornett thought he had coverage with the safety.
Extra point, close to going wide right, but sneaks in. It's 52-28 lead now for Red Mountain. And we'll stay with you on RMTV just to give a shout out one last time to all of our sponsors. The Phil Tibby Group at North & Co. Huddle up with James and Catherine Greenwald for all your real estate needs. A proud sponsor of Red Mountain Football and Avara Care at Home. Let them focus on your loved ones while you focus on the game. Elevating life with care. A good statement victory to open up region play for Red Mountain. They'll get the ball back with 6:07 to go, but with the running clock and the efficiency that they've had in the ground game, they have the opportunity to run out the clock on this drive alone.
Yeah, I gotta say that defensive drive, giving up the other deep ball, not ideal, but it's definitely a quote-unquote learning opportunity for this Red Mountain defense, for backups and starters alike.
Kind of getting that game action and playing time is good for them. You know, oftentimes see a lot of work in practice, but Red Mountain, they've had these big leads 4 times this season and have given the opportunity for the second string guys to see some live action and be involved. Band's still rocking good on the side of Williams Field as the stands sort of begin to empty out a little bit on both sides. Wyndham throws up the hands, had that kickoff stolen from him, but it's a good return, and rightfully so for Javion Williams as he finds the sideline.
Hey, I mean, it worked.
You saw Arion Wyndham under it like a center fielder calling for the pop-up, and just out of nowhere, Javion Williams said, "No, that's mine."
What the heck, man? That's mine.
He got the running start out of it, full head of steam, and set up some good field position.
Tell you what, this return game for Red Mountain has been amazing so far.
It's been lethal. Cornett on the punts, and Bodie Wagner has been in on kickoffs. Wyndham showing his stuff after the catch. Haney got a deep one tonight, too.
Sending the offense back. Probably for the out-of-bounds spot. But, yeah, this return game for Red Mountain has been lethal. If I'm counting correctly, 4 to 5 kick returns inside the 50.
They bring the starters back into the game as B-Dubs gets the end around, works forward as Chappelle gets a hand on him and holds him up for the rest of the team coming to stop forward progress. So maybe the lead getting a little too close for comfort, or Enders just sees the points going back up on the board and he says, no, we're going to extend too.
Yeah, he's not taking kindly to that. Probably just going to be a series of run plays.
Lamb back into the backfield with Lopez. Bodie Wagner top of the screen. King Robinson at the bottom. There's the hard count from Lopez looking for the flag. The official shakes his head no on the near sideline. About as close as it can get to a neutral zone infraction. Lopez fakes the give and keeps it himself this time and gets hit out of bounds towards the end of the play. Andre Hackett makes the stop.
Busted play there. Lamb went to the wrong side. Either that or Lopez handed off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's just a spot where Lopez, too, just fighting to get out of bounds and trying not to take that hit, but Hackett got him there. 3rd and 13 with 4:15 left in the fourth. Lopez goes out of the pistol with Kai Jackson in the backfield. 7 seconds to get the snap off. Yeah, timeout taken by Red Mountain. It was going to be a close call. Already one delay of game tonight. Didn't want a second one.
The final timeout of the half.
We'll keep it here as Red Mountain get things sorted out with 4:01 left here in this game. Like we mentioned, they're going to step out to a lead. Williams Field back on the road with Queen Creek, and then they have Highland. So it's kind of an inverse where these two teams, they flip-flop opponents in a couple of weeks. So Red Mountain get Highland first at home, then they get ALA Queen Creek before they get Queen Creek. But just a tough stretch, and I know talking through the entire state of Arizona with all those Arizona high school football correspondents with guys like Cody Cameron, Just Chili, when you talk to them, this 6A East Valley, it's one of the toughest divisions.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then you got the 6A Premier with guys like Hamilton, Chandler. Those are really your top two regions.
One of those teams will be coming all the way to Mesa as Hamilton takes on Red Mountain in the second to last game of the season before that rivalry week against Mountain View. Out of the timeout, Lopez keeps Jackson in the game to his left, and he's going through the air. Lopez fumbles with a sack from behind. Chappelle recovers. And it's been some forced turnovers here as of late for Williamsfield. Defense stepping up. Leon Bracken forces the fumble on Lopez, and it's recovered by Chappelle. No quit in Williamsfield.
Just a great play by Bracken here. He beats Griffin, just bull rushes him. Textbook play right there from Williamsfield.
And he wanted the ball the whole way through and through, too. It wasn't like he was trying to lay a lick on Lopez. He wanted that forced fumble. So it creates another opportunity offensively for Williamsfield to make this scoreline look a little bit better than what it feels like through the game. They were aggressive last time around with a deep shot on the first play. This time they just handed off to Skillings. And Cornett with the tackle in the backfield. It's not something you see Tyreek Cornett do too often, but a good job there stopping the run game. Just 8 tackles on the season coming into this game. He's a bigger cover guy.
You don't really see him a lot in the show up and play category. Kind of see him drop back in coverage. Anthony Gamble, on the other hand, he can stick his nose in the play a couple times.
Cornett just beat Braylon Sutherland on the block that time to get into the backfield. Through the air this time, pressure gets there and arrives at home. A big sack for Red Mountain. Cole Edmonds got in there early. He's not the one to come through with the sack, but applied a lot of pressure. Yeah, Jackson Griffin just able to get in and hang on to the ankle and bring down Barjona. Williamsfield need the 30 to pick up the first down. Griffin creates pressure towards the sideline. Completed catch, so it makes things a little bit more manageable. John Booker with the reception on that play, and we'll see if Williamsfield just elect to stick the offense out there.
Probably. I don't see Williamsfield punting this late in the game.
No real need.
Deep shot. Going for the deep shot or something that sticks.
16 to go, so they need the 35. Below the 30. Pressure comes in. Wade tries to pick up the sack, and it's closed out big time by Yosenis. Fired up with the sack.
The Oos.
Oos is loose.
There we go. That's a good one.
You like that?
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes now, and a big stop there from Yost to get this team fired up on the sidelines. And it should be just a series of run plays or kneel outs for Simon Lopez and company to close this thing.
Perfect stamp for what next week will be Pure cinema.
I don't want to try to overhype it too much, but yeah, it feels like it's going to be real good. You said Highland right now, according to Max Prep's ranked number 3 in the state of Arizona?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Number 8 versus number 3, depending on if any of the rankings shift or change from the results of this week. I know Chandler would be a big win for Highland if they're able to close that one out. We said they were up, 14-7 a little bit earlier, now up 20-14. That one feels like it'll be a barn burner down to the stretch.
It'll be a, as Jim Ross calls it, a slobber knocker.
Yeah, we're going to close out the game here first before that one does, so you'll have to look online to see the finish there. But all focus shifts towards next week. That'll be a Thursday game for Red Mountain versus Highland. Those ones just feel like the stakes are heightened, right? It's an isolated game.
Go Lions!
The state of Arizona will have their eyes on it.
It's going to be a tough one. It's like prime time.
Nothing better. Who needs Thursday night football in the NFL when you have a good high school matchup like that? One more knee should do the trick here for Red Mountain as they're starting to close things out. Simon Lopez always has a good feeling when he's able to take a knee to end the game here. And one more gets the job done. Simon Lopez finds his man Bodie Wagner in the backfield with the chest bump as the crowd starts to run out, and these two teams will head to the 50 for the handshake. Nate, an impressive finish for Red Mountain yet again tonight. Offensively, just super dynamic. It started off with a bunch of different touchdown scorers. Andrew Schmier and Talon Lamb both ended up with